something that I have been doing recently is creating a lot of intuitive content. Now, what do I mean by that? Intuitive content is content that basically comes from your heart and is really authentic to you, authentic to your voice, and is going to help you share your message in a way that is sustainable and feels really aligned for you. So, how did I stumble upon this method? So, if you're a business owner out there and you are thinking, oh my gosh, not only am I running a business and trying to do what I love, whether that's creating the art, whether that's creating the service, if you're a coach, even if you're out there, if you're like a lash technician, for example, or if you're a writer, you are like, oh my gosh, not only do I have to write the book and do the thing, but I have to do a business too on top of that. And then on top of that, I have to market myself on social media. So this episode is for all the babes who are out there thinking social media is so overwhelming. Everywhere I look, someone has a different format, a different formula, and different best practices that I need to follow. Then this episode is for you, because I want to share a way that I feel like I've cracked the code for me personally, for my DNA, in a way that really speaks to me. It makes creating content so good, and it's really replicable that you can repurpose on different platforms. So without further ado, let's dive in. I recently recorded a 30-minute training for this. It's free, and I'll drop the link below. But I'm going to give you basically the cliff notes. So if you want more details and actual kind of a walkthrough and specific examples, then I suggest jumping into that free training, because I just can't do all of that on a podcast. A lot of it is very visual. So I want to give you the highlights. So making intuitive content is basically content that comes through you like as a download, some inner wisdom that you're channeling when you're in the flow state. So when you're in the flow state, you're losing track of time. You're just like so in the zone, and you're feeling really creative. You're just feeling super high vibe, and the information is just coming through really quickly. So some examples on when I get in the flow state is when I'm riding a motorcycle. That's probably the biggest flow state for me, because I'm so, high vibrational. My body is literally vibrating. I'm feeling so free. I'm feeling really sunk into my body. I'm out of my brain. I'm in my body. I'm kind of moving on autopilot. And another way is being in nature. If you love walking in nature and you just feel so inspired in those moments, that's another indication you're in flow state. Another thing is like yoga. So basically any practice that really gets you in your body and gets you focusing internally. Okay, so that's the flow state. Then the next thing we're going to do is, when you're in the flow state, step 2 is going to be record your thoughts as they come through. So intuition is going to be really gentle. It tends to talk quite quietly. So if you're in that state and you're like, oh my gosh, like that's a great idea. Oh my gosh, I love that. You need to document this, because when you document this, you're telling your subconscious mind that you are taking it seriously, that you're listening to your intuition, and that you're taking action. So this is going to open up a portal to more creativity, and more abundance of this creativity and these ideas are going to come through. So take action, record these ideas. The best way that I do this is through my voice notes app on my phone. Super easy. I think a lot of phones have this now. And things that you're going to record are like stories that you want to share that have like an important lesson, maybe some strategies that you've used that have been incredibly helpful on your journey. You're going to basically share how you got where you are now from where you used to be. So this is going to be phenomenal for people to listen to, and share it in like a little mini framework. So be like, okay, how I got to my recent revenue goal. I did 1, A, blah, 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 B, blah, 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 3, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of a very rough framework of how you can structure these golden nuggets. Now, if you want more information and detail on that, definitely head to the free training in the link below. So the next thing, the third step, is transcribe this. So you've got all the beautiful nuggets in your flow state. You've recorded them. And make sure when you record them that you're not going to censor yourself. Just literally say what comes through, because we're going to massage that in the next couple steps. So you have these beautiful recorded thoughts. Now you're going to transcribe this from a voice to text thing. So the platform I use is totally free. It's in Google Docs. And if you go, I believe it's under format or tools and click voice typing, that's going to open up a little microphone for you. And you're going to be able to basically play your voice note. And then Google Docs is going to record the voice note into a word processing. So it's going to type out what you just said. And the result is going to be very free flowing, because when you're in flow, that's how the message came through. So that's beautiful. Put all of your little nuggets, all of your voice notes into the word processor, into the Google Doc. So that's step 3. Bringing up step 4, we are going to copy and paste those paragraphs, essentially. We're going to throw them in Chat GPT with a prompt. I'll give you the prompt. So you'll type in Chat GPT, take this script and write a blog post with it. And then paste your script. It's going to be a paragraph, and put it in little quote marks. And then Chat GPT is going to give you a result that is basically exactly what you said, but formatted into a blog post style. Phenomenal way to actually have your message packaged in different ways. And how I came across this whole method is because I found it really hard to sit down and write a blog post from scratch. But I was getting a lot of feedback in my life that people were really happy with how I was conversing with them and the tips I was giving them. And I realized that through my public speaking and through the podcast and through my radio show, that I'm a better speaker than I am sitting down and writing. And I was like, okay, how can I work with that? What free tools are available on the internet to work specifically with my DNA to help me create content in a way that feels easy, sustainable, and fun for me specifically? So this is how I do it. Okay, so then once I put it in Chat GPT, it's given me the result of my voice note of inspiration in format of a blog post. The most important thing here is to massage that message from ChatGPT and edit it so it sounds like it's specifically in your voice. So ChatGPT tends to be a little more formal, and you want to be comfortable putting out products into the universe that are from your voice. So I take that and I put in vocabulary that I would specifically use, basically so the tone sounds like I'm talking to a bestie. So for example, I would put out a blog post in the tone that I'm talking to Jessie. And that feels really happy and comfortable for me, because I always want things to be in my voice. So I think that's point 4. And then the 5th point here is to post it and repurpose it. And I want to give you some examples. There's a ton more examples in the free training below. But how I repurpose is I will make it a blog post. I can take that and make it an Instagram caption. I can then take it and edit it so it's appropriate for LinkedIn. The other way that has been really great is take, a couple of the really powerful sentences that feel really aligned and put them on Threads, put them on Twitter, and put them on an Instagram story. It's so easy to take this, rinse and repeat, and put it on different platforms. And then the final piece I want to say is if you're a long form content babe, maybe you have a podcast out there, maybe you do have a blog, this is great. So me and Jessie, here's a story. Me and Jessie a couple of weeks ago were like, oh, we would love to do more quick tips. We always talked about doing short form, free flowing episodes, like mini trainings. So we were like, oh, what would we do? And I said, oh, I just did a blog post using the exact structure that I'm telling you about right now. And I just did one about tapping into your intuition. Jessie was like, that's great. Can we make it a quick tip? And that's exactly what I did. So I literally popped open Zencaster, our podcast platform. I recorded and I read the blog post. It was probably a 200-word blog post. And then I riffed when I was speaking through that. And then I gave examples and I improv'd, and kind of what I'm doing now. And that is how we got to a 10-minute quick tip. So that is another way that you can repurpose. Again, if you want more specific examples of me going through and showing you how I repurposed, then hit up that training. Phenomenal way to see how you can repurpose content. So I really hope this helped you. And it was just something that I have been learning in the process. It's helped me a lot to create that content that is fun, authentically me, and is sustainable because it feels really good for me. And I hope that helps you so much. It is certainly something that we're starting to implement here on the podcast. And if that helps you, absolutely go with it. And I am so excited to see you up leveling your business and creating your life bigger, better, bolder.